Hey everyone, welcome to Tabletop Takeover Spooky Games Edition. My name's Nick,
Jared.
and like I said, guys, it's going to be spooky games this time, right in time for Halloween. Um, got a few games planned to talk about, but first things first, Jared, what have you been playing lately, man? What are some new games you're getting to the table?
So actually, just this last weekend, I played Return to Dark Tower. Speaking of spooky games, it's a bit
Oh,
spooky, but not totally spooky. But that tower is a bit menacing. Have you ever played this one, Nick?
I played it one time with you, probably right after you got the Kickstarter in. Like that was right after COVID,
Yeah.
probably. And I gotta say, this is probably like one of my top two Grail games, and it's readily available. I just refuse to pay for it. Is very that's what it comes down to with this one for me.
Yeah, so I was playing it with a friend of mine. We were in. Do you remember my old game room before I moved it to a different room?
Yeah, yeah.
We were playing it in there. I went downstairs to get a bottle of water. A friend of mine went to the bathroom, and as I came back, the lights were flickering in the room we were playing in. And when I walked in, the fan cut off, the lights cut off, and the dark tower was just flashing. That's all it was
Just
doing.
glowing ominously. Oh man.
I know this was all just happenstance, right? But it just added to the whole theme of the game. Um, no, this is a good one. I mean, it's very random, but it's just a fun adventure game where you are taking some very simple actions, going to towns, recruiting warriors, upgrading your character, and but at the end of everybody starts a little skull into the tower, and that little skull could pop out anywhere, and it corrupts your towns, or it could get stuck in this tower. As you play, events pop up through an app that you play through, and those events may make the tower spin and spill out those skulls, may have you open up new passageways for more skulls to pop out. It's just a very chaotic time, but it's always a fun time. I really enjoy this one.
So this was one. I think we played this. We played this into something else, and I think it was Terra Mystica. This into Terra Mystica, and I was gonna teach Terra Mystica, and I was like, oh yeah, Dark Tower, fine, like cooperative game, whatever, man.
Yeah.
I'll play it. And I was very surprised by how much I liked it. And it's like not that complex. I know it's like a remake of a, is it an 80s game or something? Restoration did it, right?
Yeah, Dark Tower was an early 80s, maybe mid 80s game. And yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, really good. Really good. Um, so the hot game I've been playing lately, I know we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, is the Old King's Crown. It's a Kickstarter that just fulfilled last week for me, and I've gotten into the table quite a few times already, and I've played every faction so far. And I'm so surprised by this game. I actually played it a little over a year ago. I got to play an early copy. One of our friends was working on, I think it was the tabletop simulator coding for it. So I ended up being able to play an early test copy that way. And it's changed quite a bit since then, honestly. For the better. I mean, all the factions are balanced now, so that's good. I remember one of them was completely unplayable back then, but oh man, it's like I want to call it a lane battler. You know the games like where you're it's usually two-player games where you're like vying for control of the middle. Maybe there's like four or five different zones there, and you're adding cards of different values maybe, and you can like trigger like a like have you played the game Compile, for instance?
Haven't, but I've heard only good things about Compile.
Right. So for me, Old King's Crown feels like multiplayer Compile, where you're playing different things to your side
Hmm.
of a fight. But I think I guess it's really just an area control game of three zones over 5 or 6 rounds. And yeah, it's a good one. I know you and I haven't got to play it yet, but we have to get that to the table soon, man. It's a good one, and I really want to hear your opinions on it. What
Yeah,
else?
it's getting a lot of buzz, so I'll be excited to play it when we're able to get together.
Yeah. What else have you been playing? Anything else new?
Yeah, so this isn't really new to me. It's actually part of a campaign game that I'm in uh, with one of my friends called Iridia, The
Yep.
Paths We Tread. This game is fantastic. I think about it way too often. We are almost done with the campaign, which me getting a campaign game completed is probably just amazing.
I mean, that's an
But we were
achievement.
almost finished. Yeah, the exploration. It's just a creative game. It was I can't remember who published it, but it was the same person that did Zaya, Legends of the Drift.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Cody Miller, I think, is the designer, and the attention to detail in this game is immaculate. It has puzzles, fun puzzles, rewarding puzzles in the game. You do have to take a bit of notes to remember what your storylines are because they'll maybe reenact way later in the game, but that's kind of those callbacks make it fun. Man, I've enjoyed this. It's not a cheap game either, unfortunately, but the
Right.
value and hours that you get out of the game, man, spectacular.
Um, Not to keep on the topic of campaign games, but didn't you also do your Frost Cabin trip a couple weekends ago?
That was a couple weekends ago. Yeah, I mean we call it Frost Cabin, but we stemming from Frosthaven, but
Right.
we did not play Frosthaven. We played our new campaign game that we have been meeting up with the same group for. I think it's been 4 years now. We've played Osworn, um, Chronicles of Drunagor, um, Frosthaven. And we find a new large campaign game to get into when we meet every Sunday, every other Sunday, and play through it. So our new campaign that we started for the cabin was Aeon Trespass Odyssey.
Oh,
And
that's
this,
a big,
oh,
big game, right?
this is quite juicy. I this is if Kingdom Death Monster
Okay.
and Seventh Continent had a child
Okay.
together. It is, I mean, it's rules heavy. I think BGG puts it at a 4.6 out of 5. So our noses were in the rule book quite a bit, but felt it was rewarding. It's great.
Good.
Right
Yeah,
up my
that's
alley for
awesome.
sure.
Um, I also just can't finish campaign games. I think the only ones we consistently finish are the Red Raven Sleeping Gods games. We finished the Now or Never campaign, both Sleeping Gods, and then um, obviously I'll get the new one that's coming up. But yeah, I actually tried to commit, which is on me. I should have never committed to this to begin with. A Tainted Grail campaign, and we played the first game and absolutely got destroyed. We played a second time the first scenario again, and we passed it. And then our schedules we just couldn't line up, and then we ended up canceling it. But honestly, I think that the game is brilliant. I just I'm just not good at sticking with these things, man. And I feel like I don't need to commit to a group because I'm going to be the one that ends up backing out of it. But I'm really glad that you enjoy it, and I know a lot of the guys in our group are in that play group that you're in with your campaign game. So I'm glad you
Campaign
guys are
games are
enjoying that.
hard because they're a bit of a sacrifice, don't you think? Like, sure, we like playing our campaign games, and I've had the same group for 4 years, but man, sometimes we just like to play something different. And it feels like if we're all going to get together, we better play that campaign game, or we're never going to get through it. So it's a bit of a curse,
Yeah,
but we enrich ourselves with the immersions of these games. So it kind of makes it fun,
yeah.
and to call
Well,
back
it's
on those
nice
old things.
too when you have the weekend, like you guys rent the lake house, you go there, play your game, like that's what the weekend's for. It's nice. I did something similar. I went to visit my friend Graham a few weeks ago, and he had Seventh Citadel, and I wasn't a
Mhm.
fan of Seventh Continent, but we busted out Seventh Citadel, and I was like, man, we should have started this sooner because I just want to keep playing this one. But I feel like next time he wants to bust it out and be like, okay, what are the rules again? What have we done so far? I forgot because we don't get together that often. But yeah, I think that they're really enjoyable. I've got to like knock them all out in rapid succession, or I'm going to bail on them. But to your point of if we're all getting together, we should do something else. I feel like we all felt that way when we did Rise of Fenris together, the Scythe campaign. It's like we had all my favorite people were playing games together pretty consistently, and it's like, man, Scythe game number 6, you know? Yeah, so the last one that I've been playing that's pretty new, which again you haven't played, we don't game enough together. I don't understand this, but Sweetlands. It's a heavy
Oh
Euro game
yeah.
by Uchibakoya. Forgive me if that's pronounced incorrectly, but they made Ostia and they made Aqua Garden. Very good game. It's kind of like Terra Mystica-y as far as uncovering benefits on your board, but it's more combo-y, and there's no shared like middle board. But that game, everybody I've played that with has liked it. Whereas Old King's Crown has been a kind of a mixed bag with our friends on who's liked it and who's not. People have loved Old King's Crown or been like, yeah, that's a game that I'm not really wanting to play again. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But everybody's like, Sweetlands, I'm all in on this one, man. Our friend Q was wanting to trade for my copy of Sweetlands. So,
That that's super interesting about Sweetlands because I see stuff on social media about Sweetlands and it kind of gives off a Candyland. I know Candyland is not even fair to
sure.
call it, but like it's a weird theme for me
Yes.
for what sounds to be a more serious Euro when you're talking
It's
about like
very serious
Ostia,
Euro.
which is fantastic. Ostia is amazing. Interesting theme for a Euro. Do you feel like it was thematic based on what you were doing?
Um, Absolutely not. But I do
Traditional Euro.
appreciate it. Yeah, I mean it's Euro-y. Everything has like some kind of cute dessert name. So like all of your there's like I think 14 different player powers you can have, like different characters, something like that, 12 maybe, and they all have different like dessert names. And then every card, there's probably 250 cards in the deck, and it's like a person's first and last name, but it's like a normal first name and then an alliterated last name that's a type of dessert. And all the buildings you have like, don't quote me here, you have like brownie houses and you have milk research stations and stuff. So like it's just all sorts of different things. But no, the theme you could have changed it to something else and the game would function the same, I think. But I
Okay.
enjoy the theme. And the theme didn't draw me in actually. What did it for me was the art style. I mean, I'm a casual anime enjoyer, and it's a very anime art style. And then like I like the colors on the board, and then I immediately saw it. To me, I immediately thought it was going to be Terra Mystica with like this different theme. It's not. That's just the closest thing I can compare it to. But yeah, the art style drew me in. Obviously, I love Ostia. I like the other games that they've put out as well. So it was kind of an auto buy for me. But yeah, the theme was weird, but certainly unique.
Yeah, I want to try this one.
Yeah, we got to get together soon and knock that one out. Also, both of these games I mentioned, Old King's Crown and Sweetlands, are quite long. I would recommend them at 3 for your first play. I would not play Sweetlands at 4 again. It's just so long, um, but it is good, and you'll really enjoy it. It's not like a where you're just, hey, take this action. I've built a building, your turn. It's like, take this action. I build the building. My building triggers an ability. Also, when I place the building on this hex, the hex triggers an ability. And then my card has a passive that triggers whenever I do something. So you get to do like a lot of things on your turn, which is always exciting.
So there's a lot of comboing.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh, like a juicy combo
comboing,
game.
engine building. Yeah, so it's got like a mixed bag of everything that you want, truly.
Yeah, I love a combo game, but there's a game I played. I guess it's been a year, but I was about to say recently, Daitoshi, where it
Oh,
almost seemed like the combos got in the way of the game, which usually I love
okay.
that.
Yeah,
But did you play
that's the game that was
Daitoshi?
hyped. Yeah, that game was hyped for me so hard because it's Devere, and our friend Jesse,
Sure.
is a Devere diehard. I hadn't played any of Danny Garcia's games before. Since playing Daitoshi, I played Windmill Valley, which I loved. And so I was like, okay, Daitoshi's going to be great. New Devere game. Devere's hot right now. Danny Garcia's a renowned designer. It's going to be good. And I bounced off of that one pretty hard.
I didn't mind the game. I just felt like the turns seemed overly long, and you would sometimes forget what you were supposed to combo off of. Um,
Sure.
but otherwise, I thought the theme was interesting. The actions were fun. The choices were interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
It's a beautiful game. The production value is fantastic.
But Devere did such a good job with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you said you had a game in the next topic. So, some things that are coming up that you want to play, either games you know your friends have you want to play, something coming to Kickstarter, something you got in you haven't played yet. What do you have in the queue, so to speak?
Yeah, so in the queue, I played it last night actually. I just soloed through the intro. It's called Valheim. This is delivering in
Oh,
Kickstarter right now. I just got mine yesterday. I think I
I saw
sent
your
you a
picture you
picture of the
sent.
box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's a big
did.
box. It's a big box. I got the deluxe version, of course. It's Kickstarter,
Of course.
right? Winning Kickstarter, do Kickstarter.
I'm not gonna base
So,
pledge Kickstarter. Come on.
right, who does that? Nobody. So I got this. I got it all organized. It's very good. We're gonna run it, and I don't think it does anything new. I love Viking settings. Obviously, Blood Rage being my number one game. But this game is your traditional search areas, gather resource. There's a lot of crafting, so you're kind of crafting your hut. For example, if you craft a rug, whenever you're at home, you get extra rest action. So everything that you craft improves what you can be. But you're basically just building out your character so you can fight the final boss at the very end, and that's how you win. But if everybody dies, then you lose. Very simple game. The rule set is pretty straightforward. I'm interested to play this with others, but I enjoyed the tutorial. Of course, the tutorial was a deck of 55 cards that tell you what to do on every move. It gave you some agency over like when you fight monsters and things of the sort. To roll and complete the battle, but then you'd go to the next card and reset some things. It's very well done. I wish Morgan, what do you think about games like that that provide an intro scenario or kind of a walkthrough to get you accustomed to the game? What do you think about that? Do you like it? Do you find that to be, we'll skip it and just read the rules or watch some videos?
Yeah, so it depends. I think in theory it's a good thing, especially if the game is heavy and kind of complex. You mentioned videos. I think I use videos for that purpose. So I know like John Gets Games, is that his name? He always does like
Yeah.
how to play and he plays it as well. So he'll take like 2 turns. Rado as well if you can keep up and actually listen to a whole Rado video. But
Got a
where
lot of
they're
energy.
like yeah, he does. He does. I've been watching his videos for years, so I mean, I'm not like talking smack to the guy. He has a successful channel. It's just I can't always handle the whole thing, but I use that kind of for how it works and plays. But I think that there's a lot of value to including it, and I appreciate it from the publisher. Personally, I don't want to read that much of like a getting into a thing. I would rather like okay, this isn't exactly what you asked, but whenever I'm learning a new game, if there's a video, I'm going to watch the video and follow along in the rule book so I can jump into the rule book as I need to whenever I'm teaching. And then it kind of accomplishes the same thing for me. But I do
Uh,
think it's good and I do appreciate people going through that much effort to get you like a, kickstart guide, like getting into the
Yeah, I
game.
mean, I think in the games that I dip my toes into, I appreciate having those walkthrough
Sure.
missions to get you comfortable with the game. I think one of the Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion did this very well,
Yeah,
where over
they
five
did.
missions, it kind of introduced a few rules here and there, and I thought that was very successful. I see a lot of other games doing it now, so I kind of
That's
like
how
it, but I
far I
know it
got.
doesn't work with all games, right?
Right. That's how far I got in Jaws of the Lion was through the intro. But
Yeah,
Seventh Citadel
you
actually
give
had
it
a
a try.
really fun intro scenario, and it did tell you what to do, but it kind of just like set the scene for the campaign. Have you played Seventh Citadel yet, or just
I played
Continent?
Seventh Continent, but did
Yeah,
not play Citadel.
in Citadel, it's like a prison break sequence kind of, and it was really cool. It got you into it, like, hey, go here, do that, and then you got to open up and do your own thing as you got into it. So yeah, I mean, in a game like that with like a lot of mechanics that it can walk you through, sure. Like a Euro game, step by step how to play it, I'm not going to do that probably.
I think that's fair.
Um, yeah, so I have a few games that I'm interested in, so I'm going to try to keep it really brief because two of them I've talked about a few times. But the first one on my list is Feudum. I got a shipping notification from UPS from BGT, although I didn't get any alert in an email about a shipping, but here's my assumption. BGT is boardgametables.com, which is now Allplay, who is distributing Feudum. So, maybe I'm like conspiracy here, but I think that this is Feudum delivering on Sunday for me.
That's
Um,
amazing, and I want in on that game because I have not played Feudum. I've heard it's a wild game,
yeah,
and I want
so
in.
our friend Caleb had a copy. We played his copy 2 or 3 times, like back to back to back, a couple years ago, and haven't played it since. My wife won every game we played. So when it came to
That's why she
Kickstarter,
loves it.
she was like,
Ah, yeah.
a Feudum Kickstarter, and they're like changing the board a bit so that it's not changing how it plays at all. They're just changing like the graphic design to make it easier to read, and then to include the expansion on the board. So it's overall going to be an upgrade. It's now the most expensive game I own after the tariffs I had to pay and the shipping I had to pay for it. But yeah, I'm excited to get that to the table, and I'm glad you said you want to play it because I've been kind of polling the people that I play with consistently, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm good on Feudum."
Yeah, I don't know any better, so I'll play.
I think it's fun. I think you'll enjoy it. There's a bit of a learning curve to the first game because it's all about moving things through the guilds, and you can be a guild leader or the second in charge of the guild. I don't know what it's called, and as long as you're flowing on the guilds, it works. But you can intentionally hold stuff up in the guilds to hurt your opponents. So there's a bit of like a nuance there to it. But I think you'll enjoy the game for sure. Another long Euro game, but you'll like it, and it's so wacky like art style wise, all that. You want to talk about the Sweetlands theming being weird? Feudum is a weird theme game.
Yeah, it takes it up a notch. It takes it
Yeah,
up a
it
notch.
does.
Speaking of tariffs and shipping and Kickstarters, I have one coming to me as well that I'm super excited about. It's called Grim Coven. Have you heard about this one? Do you know anything
I
about it?
did because isn't that the one that looks like the Bloodborne video game? Is that the game I'm thinking of?
It does have that Victorian arts, dark
I'm
Victorian art
googling it
style. Yeah,
now.
absolutely. It's a game made by Awaken Realms, which I'm a fanboy, big time fanboy of Awaken Realms.
Sure.
This is a boss battling game, but hey, stepping away from the campaign games I am, it's a one shot. So you just set up your scenario and you play. You have these minions on the board. But we talked in last episode. What's my favorite type of Euro game? If I'm going to play a Euro, it has to
Oh
have
God,
dice in it. And this
friendship
is
pop quiz.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a dice placement, right? We talked
Yes,
last time.
yes, yes.
And this boss battling has dice placement mechanics. I already love this game, and I haven't touched a piece for it.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get it. It's going to be massively fun, dripping, oozing with theme, as Awaken Realms normally does. I may even talk about an Awaken Realms a little later, but this one looks cool. I can't wait to get everything for it.
yeah. So I forgot about this game. I Googled it after you said it. This is the game I was thinking of. I wanted to back it, but it's not really my style of game, so I didn't, hoping somebody in the game group did. So, like, you went in on my game of Feudum, I call dibs on the game of Grim Coven for sure. I mean, just
If
how it looks alone drew me in, and then learning how it played, I'm like, not usually my cup of tea. And I honestly thought Jared or Q are going to get this game, one of those two guys, and I'm going to play at their house when they do.
Yeah, I mean, if it has Awaken Realms on it, more than likely I just close my eyes and hit back all in. So yeah,
Yeah,
you never have to worry about it. Wondering, I wonder if Jared backed this. The answer is yes.
yeah. Um, so I mentioned my next game a little bit. It's the new Songs of Silveranth, the new Red Raven Kickstarter. It's not out yet, but it's coming out soon to GameFound. And I mean, I own every Red Raven game. I will continue to own every Red Raven game, good or bad. But their narrative-driven games are so good. So again, I can commit to those campaigns because it's just me and my wife. Excited for it. I know it's going to not be cheap, and I know that I'm going to back it anyway. So that's kind of all I have to say about that one. I mean, if anybody that's listening has played a Red Raven campaign game, the Sleeping Gods ones, Near and Far, Now or Never, um, it's just going to be the biggest one of those they've ever made. I think both physically large and scope wise, the largest game they've made. So I'm
Oh,
excited. You said you were wanting
yeah,
this one too, right?
I actually, and I am not a Red Ravens
Mm-hmm.
guy, and give you a hard time for being one sometimes.
Yep.
But no, this one excites me. This looks. Well, I'll say I mentioned Iridia earlier. Um, Iridia, from what I know of Sleeping Gods, um, I think it would have a similar feel. Iridia would have a similar feel.
Okay.
Gods, how the adventuring works. I think battling is more interesting in Iridia, from what I understand of Sleeping Gods. Or, I mean, I've played Sleeping Gods a couple times, and I did not like the combat.
Sure.
I do in Iridia. It's quite mathy and enjoyable. It works on a D20 system, so that may not be your favorite because you can completely miss, and at certain times could be devastating. But
Yep.
I think you would like Aria if you like some of those Red Raven adventure games. But yeah, I'm with you. Songs looks fantastic, and I can't wait until it just comes out on Game Found, which is I think it's going through Game Found, right? That's
Yes, yeah. I think it's on the
the
games we
crowdfunding
love
platform.
thing that they do. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know it's going to be a year after that. So I don't know why I get excited whenever these come out on crowdfunding platforms.
Cult of the New,
Uh,
baby. You got to
but it's
stay in
fun.
tune.
Yeah, it's fun to follow. It's fun to be a part of the process too. You know.
It is, and like it's fun to be on top of, things people are talking about and just kind of be in the know. So yeah, I mean, I think that we're not alone that that game's exciting. I mean, Red Raven was kind of like up and coming. I think Above and Below kind of put them on the map, and Sleeping Gods blew them up. I think like that really hit a lot of people's tables and kind of put their name out there big time for them. So yeah, just the next chapter and what they're doing, and couldn't be more excited. Anything else you have on your list up and coming stuff?
Now I'm excited about those two that I mentioned. So that's all I have for
All
this
right, I have a
month.
quick note. One is I'm not a solo gamer at all. I played what was that game that I borrowed from you before, like last year,
Yeah,
Ori
Isla
and the
and something shiny. Correct? Was that the
that
game
one,
you're
yeah,
referring
because I
to?
was thinking it
Yeah.
was like Ori and the but that's yeah. So that one I played that. I've played some solo Pandemic just if I've had some downtime, but I want to play Old King's Crown solo. I'm telling you, man, I love this game so much. I want to figure out the solo mode, but I got the like what's it laser aux insert for it, and it's like a whole wooden box of solo components with three card decks and another box that
Sweet.
wouldn't fit in there for pieces too. So it seems pretty involved, but I just want to figure it out to see how that goes. So that's my one quick like half a game I want to try, and then I couldn't let this go without mentioning it to you, but the Inish Kickstarter is fulfilling soon. I mean, they had some like weird address issues as it came to the US, and then the distributors like system didn't have anybody's addresses in it. So we had to provide our address again. Then they had an issue with the sleeves. It's been a whole thing, but it's coming in soon. So big box, new expansion, new um, graphic design for it. Same artwork, same rules, but it's just a new like graphic design for the cards. Um, so little cheat thing I'm excited for, but I had to slip it in because I know you love Vinish as much as I do.
Do you like the new box art?
I actually love the new box art. They had a poll and voted for them, and this is the one I voted for. Um, I really like it a lot. What I don't like is the box size. Currently, I have Inish with the Seasons of Inish expansion, and it's all stored in the Seasons box, and it's nice and small. It's like Clans of Caledonia box size, if you know that game at all.
Sure.
Pretty small box, like a shorter Thunder Road. Well, you don't have the base box for that. You know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it's a smaller box, and I'm gonna miss having the small box for it. But new stuff, new-ish. I'm excited. All right, so moving on to spooky games. I can start us off. So, again, difficult for me to determine exactly what I wanted on this list. I'm going to start off with an easy one. I mentioned it last episode, and that is The Last Night on Earth. So, not to, recap what I said before, but it's a game I've had forever. I played this. I remember staying up till 3, 4 a.m. in college playing this with guys in my dorm. Like we were just in like the shared space and just playing it all night. It's humans versus zombies. You can have like 1v1 is very good. It plays up to six with two people sharing the zombie pool versus four individual human characters, and it's great. It's again, I think that the game mechanically, yeah, it has some issues. It's an older game. I'm looking at my copy right now. I have the 10-year anniversary box that probably came out 6 or 7 years ago at this point, with everything crammed into it. And it's very campy. It's like they had all their friends dress up in character and then took pictures of them, and that's the art for all the cards and everything. But man, I love it. It's just classic, tropey zombies are in the town, and you can pick up guns and shoot them, and you can light the ground on fire with gasoline. You could throw dynamite, and there's a lot of scenarios in the box. There's scenarios they put out online that you can play that are official, and then there's a ton of fan-made scenarios. And my wife and I made a scenario, and we still have that notebook paper from probably 2000, oh gosh, 2010, maybe 2009, where she wrote out all the rules that we had decided were the rules of our game for this. So I couldn't not talk about that game. Highly recommend playing it, especially if you have like a lot of the content. So if you're local, listening to this, haven't played it, shoot me a text, man. Let's get it to the table, especially this month, man. It's the time to play it.
You love when a game gives you those types of feels, and sometimes we continually chase that new game that gives us the same feels. It's just
Yeah,
it's kind of a remarkable thing about the hobby. I
yeah.
think it's very
It,
cool. I do want to comment because I think it's unusual that a game. Of course, the only time I've played it, it's one versus all, and of course, every single time's been with you. We've played
sure.
it one versus all, I think, every single time, and I think it works really well as a one versus all game,
Yeah,
and that
that's the
is
way I
not
would
common.
recommend. Yeah.
That is not. It's hard to make a one versus all game work well, and it does it,
It,
and it does it
it
well,
is.
I think.
5 players is a sweet spot because you have one person controlling the entire zombie horde, and you always have 4 humans in the game, regardless of the player count. So having 4 individual players playing 4 individual characters against one zombie horde overlord is the way to go, for sure. But getting 5 people together on a night after my kid's bedtime to play a game, and it's just the more players the longer the game goes. So yeah, but you mentioned this too, and I wanted to call this out, like dice rolling. It's a d6 system, and so like your weapons will have like let's say it's a revolver, you have to roll a 4 to hit. Why do I remember this? I don't know. If you roll a 1, you're out of ammo, discard your revolver, and you're like, I have to hit this zombie because I have to kill him. If I don't, he's on me. I'm gonna get hit, and it's my last HP. And if I die, I become a zombie. And so, and like it's got those like celebrate out loud moments where you're like, I rolled a 6, yes, we're clear, go, run, like run through there, or you're like, oh god, a 2, I didn't kill him, he's coming for me next turn, and like trying to figure out, can I sacrifice myself for the good of the party type thing. So I've cheered as the zombie player, cheered for the humans, and for the human as a human, I've cheered for the zombies, unless my wife's playing the zombies, and because it's just exciting moments. But yeah, man, it's a good game. But I tease my wife. I play with her the most at that game, and she's always the zombies, and she's so deadly at that game, man. So deadly.
The art is a tough pill to swallow, but that's
It
kind of
truly
the
is.
flying frogs calling card. I mean, most of their games are like that. You either like it or you don't, and I
Yeah,
think it's fun.
but it does get you into it, right? If it was like cartoony zombies, it wouldn't be the same. It's
It's definitely it hits
very
that B, yeah, it hits that B horror movie vibe.
exactly that,
Mhm.
exactly that.
Yeah.
So that's my first one. What do you got for us, Jared?
So I kind of cultivated my list based on just that tense. I mean, obviously the vibe has to be Halloween themed with monsters or some type of threat on the board, but
Yeah.
something that adds tension, something with palatable tension throughout maybe the whole game or especially towards the end of the game that has monsters on it, and
Mhm.
monsters in it. And so the first game that popped up on my mind, and this is not a well-known game, but man, I sure do love it. It's Lobotomy 2 Manhunt. This
Hang on, let
game's
me
by
consult Google about this real
yeah,
quick.
please do, please
All
do. I've
right.
never played the first one. This is a game by Titan Forge Games. This game is as if Arkham Horror checked into therapy, but therapy didn't work for it.
Okay.
Um, you basically assume the role of an inmate in this asylum. It's a very deranged atmosphere. You break out of your cell because something's happening, and all these monsters are coming at you, but you don't know they're real or if it's in your mind. And so there is a 10 game story arc that goes along with this,
Okay.
that you can play, or you can just play one shots. It has a little zombie side vibe. It does rolling dice, using items, finding more items, so on and so forth. But the theme is so good. It is so spooky. And you do not know where new monsters are spawning. So you're constantly either running or fighting like hell to try to meet your objective. This game is great.
I'm looking at it. It looks good. Um, the theme's appealing. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested just by that. I swear I've seen this cover before, but I have maybe just like popped up on Game Found and I just, moved
You know
past
what?
it.
You know
Yeah.
what vibes this game gives me? Do you remember when Resident Evil 2 came out for the PlayStation?
Way back. Yeah.
I think this game gives me that vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's just survival horror at its finest. Very good. This is a great game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, like I said, I'm interested. Not one I had heard of for sure, but yeah, I mean, just looking at it, like the artwork looks pretty good too. The board, it kind of feels like the board looks like Last on Earth board, where you have like the grid. That's this game I'm looking at, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Have the grid movement and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm in, man. I wish it wasn't as close to Halloween as it is. Like we should have done a little gaming marathon of Halloween games, man. You're making me want to, that's for sure.
It doesn't have to be Halloween. It doesn't have to be
That's true.
Halloween.
You
You
can
can
play
play
them year
anything.
round. That is true. That's true.
I'm in.
Um, so next one on my list is one I couldn't decide if it was horror enough, but it definitely is. I don't know why I second guessed it. And it's a new one for me this year. It's Destinies. And I feel
Oh,
like this game doesn't get like I don't know. I think it's a game that people hate. I know it's a giveaway at a lot of cons, and it often times goes on sale for cheap. And then I've always kind of been like, why is this such a cheap game? I don't get it. I loved it, man. I actually got it at a con and was excited to get it. I think I got it at AdventureCon this year, our local con. And
nice.
oh man, it's like have you played this one?
I have. Yeah, I used to own it.
Okay, so I've played a couple of the scenarios, and that first one where there's like a werewolf on the loose in
Mhm.
the town, and it's an app-driven game, which is not something I'm super into, but in this case, it works really well. Just moving around, interacting with the townsfolk. You have your own destiny, which is your own goal you're trying to accomplish. So it is a competitive game. Um, yeah, just like figuring out what the mystery is and how to solve it and how to fulfill your destiny. And you can even do things that don't go with your destiny to see what happens. I mean, you can go confront the beast, the werewolf, if you will, like right away and see what happens. So I thought it was really good when I played it. I played it with my wife. I played it with our friends Jesse and Drake, the opening scenario with them, and everybody seemed to like it. And it's also weird with max 3 player count.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
forgot about that. Yeah.
one that I slept on for a while, but again, like if you're looking to pick this game up, it goes on sale a lot. A lot of people are selling the game plus all the expansions for like a reasonable price. So I'm excited to get into it again, finish out the base game box, and maybe pick up one of the expansions. I got to do some research on what everybody agrees is the best ones or so, but there's a lot of content for it too, which I enjoy. Like you can play it, and it's a one-shot thing. You don't have to commit to the full campaign. One-shot thing, a lot of expansion content, different scenarios, different characters. One I really enjoyed
Yeah,
for
this is
sure.
a Lucky Duck, right?
Yes, yes, Lucky
Yeah,
Duck.
I
They
feel like they
did.
do good with their app integrations in a lot of their games. I haven't played all of them, but this one worked really well, like you said. I really like the upgrade system and how the dice interact with the game.
Yeah.
Can you explain that for some? Because I think that was the best part of the game.
So the level up system in Destinies with the dice, you have like your own. I forget what they're actually called. They're like purple dice. So if you're doing a skill check with the generics, you can throw in some of your purple ones, and you'll get like one a turn. And I think there's other ways to earn an extra one.
Hmm.
And it just helps you throw more dice to get more successes. So you have 3 tracks, and I don't remember what they're called, but it's like a mind track or like a magic track, whatever, some kind of dex track and a strength track. And you have 2 markers or more on all of those tracks. And they're numbered, I'm going to say, from like 3 to 12. And that number that your little discs are on dictates the number you have to roll of your combined dice total for a success. So if I roll 3 dice, the total is 9, but I have a marker on 6 and 7, I have 2 successes for that track. So when you do something in town like a quest, you get experience and you're spending that experience points to like level up, those markers on your track actually bump down to lower values. So the lower the value, the better, right? Because you need a lower total for your dice throw to have successes. Um, but yeah, you're right. That's an interesting system there to level up. I haven't seen anything else like that really. It's usually adds like modifiers to your dice, like plus on your dice roll, like whatever. But actually lowering the check value, I thought was pretty unique.
Yeah, that's one thing that really made me think this game was very interesting. And sorry to put you on the spot like that,
No, no, you're good.
but I just couldn't. I was like you. I couldn't remember how it worked, but I remember that being one of the things that was like, oh, this is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, very neat
So
system.
yeah, what's up next on your list, Jared?
So I have one of the most thematic games on my list, and probably easily in my top five. Every time I play it, a new iteration of this game just came out called Retaliation, and it's Nemesis by no
Mm-hmm.
other than Awaken Realms.
I
I
knew this
have
would be on your
not
list.
tricked you into playing this yet, have I?
No, no.
Yeah.
Well, I think you were playing it a lot
Oh, yeah.
when our local board game lounge opened up board game nights. And I know that
Yeah.
that has since shuttered its doors, but you were playing that a lot there. But that was like right as COVID was starting. We just had a newborn at home, so we weren't getting out and playing it. And I feel like I kind of just missed all of it. Um, you could probably sucker me into this. I would not want to die round one, which is what I hear can happen. But I mean, the theme is cool.
It's if you like the movie Alien, this is that movie. Don't sue me, Disney. Um, they're called intruders, so insert air quotes there. This I feel like every time I play this game, I don't care if I win or lose. This game to me isn't about winning. It's really just about surviving long enough to blame someone else for losing. So, is the best way I know how to put it. It's chaotic. There's dice rolls. A lot of people don't like it because of the randomness. Thematically, you wake up on a spaceship, and so you're kind of discombobulated coming out of hyperspace, or hypersleep, excuse me. And so you don't know where things are, so you're uncovering the board as you go along. A lot of people like, I don't understand why you don't know where the rooms are. I get it if you want to get that deep with it, but man, this game, it is a semi co-op game. So you can play it as a semi co-op, you can play it as a cooperative. There are cards because the whole entire game is based on you completing your mission. You
Yeah.
have one mission that may say kill player two, or you have a mission that says get the ship to Mars or Earth or what have you, and that's your only thing that you do, regardless of what everybody else does. So everybody has their own personal secret objective. And that's where this game sings because even if my card says kill Nick, I cannot directly kill you. I have to find
Gotcha.
strategic ways to gain your trust and trap you in a room with an alien, seal you off, push you off into um, the now I can't think what it's called right now. Um, the trash compactor, essentially. Like you have to find clever ways to kill somebody and can't do so directly. And I think that is it just makes for great stories every single time you play. You mentioned we played at Board Games Nights once, and we had somebody die very first round, and we still talk about it to this day. He wasn't even mad; he was impressed. The guy that got eliminated first round, and it's just incredible. What I really like, and I said I put games that add tension. So not only is it very difficult to kill these intruders that sneak up on you, what's interesting is the end game, because if you do complete your goal and get off the ship or go into cryo sleep or however the game ends for you, what you have to do is you collect these contamination cards throughout the game. And so whenever you take one of these cards, you have to scan them in one of those. And Nick, you've probably seen those little red scanners. You put the card in it, and it'll
Yep.
tell you if you're infected or not. It's
Okay.
so clever. If any of your infected cards say infected, you have to go through an infection process where you shuffle up your deck and you flip one card at a time. You flip four cards total, and if any of your contamination cards come up out of your deck, you lose. So once again, remember it's random. but
Sure.
it's also very thematic to if you win or lose. And that's why I say I don't play this game to win. I play it for the story because it
Sure.
always plays out and it always does well. I don't think I've had a bad game of it. I've always enjoyed every single game. And Retaliation, the new one, with more plays, I may like it more. But as of right now, Nemesis is still high, high, high on my list, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah, man, you aren't alone. I mean, that's another game that when it came out, just kind of was in every circle of conversation in the board gaming space. And it's another game that's like people love it or hate it, but I've got to try it. I've got to try it for myself. It sounds really interesting, and I think maybe I'm wrong, and you would know, but I think everybody in our game group has enjoyed their plays of it too. I don't think anybody's bounced off of it really hard, have they? In our
Well,
normal group?
well, I know some of them that did not love it the first time they played, but when I got them to try it again, they actually really enjoyed themselves.
Good.
So it took a bit to marinate, I guess, but
Maybe it was
definitely
just having the right
more than
expectation the second time too, you know?
in the
Like
right
what
group,
is this game?
always. Yeah,
Yeah, the
in the
right
right
group.
group, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one. Um, my next game, I am torn between two games to talk about. Um, I'm probably gonna just mention claustrophobia because it's gonna be in the cult of the news soon, okay?
Yeah,
Listen, last episode, if you recall, what did I say I didn't like? Dungeon crawlers. And here I am, the next episode of the podcast, talking about a dungeon crawler that I enjoy. It's a two-player only, unless you have an expansion that has a third player experience, where one person is like, I don't know what they're even called. Like they're just the good guys. They're the humans. And then the other player is playing like the monster horde, and there's minis. I have the old OG version, which you played with me, right? At your
I did
house?
with the painted minis. Yeah, they're very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a good one, man. And I'm excited because there's a new Kickstarter coming out that you sent me actually. So just to kind of recap some of this here, like there's different scenarios that you're playing through, different ways that you can win as the human, and as you are moving, you're exploring the caverns further and further, and the enemies have they're like monsters on the board and stuff, and they're kind of just sending this relentless horde your way. And you're working to achieve your goal, whatever the scenario is that you're playing through. There's a lot of expansion content. I want to say there's maybe three expansions for this.
Oh
And
wow.
there was a Kickstarter a few years, I think it was a Kickstarter a few years ago, 14, let me look this number up here. 14 something? 14, hmm,
92? 1492?
1492?
That sounds right.
1643.
I was way off. Forget
Well,
what I
it's because okay, you weren't way off. So looks like it was Claustrophobia 1643. The new Game Found project is coming out, which is by Devere, company we mentioned earlier. Really good production value, all that stuff. Is Claustrophobia 1692. Okay, so that's where the 92
gotcha.
comes
Yeah.
from. Is the new
Okay.
one. So I don't really know what all it adds. And looking at the project, it's like, hey, same rules. Really, it's just gonna have all the content. I think it's gonna have UI, not UI, like a different graphic design for it, but all in all, the same experience. Just one I really enjoy. This also gets talked about, but I feel like it's a bit niche. It's two players. It's a little bit longer for a two-player game. Takes up the full table. I mean, it's a full-size box for sure, but yeah, a game that I've been interested in forever, despite it being a dungeon crawler. But yeah, glad that I checked it out. And I was actually looking at picking up some expansion stuff for it. But I may get this Kickstarter. We'll see the price and all that stuff.
Yeah, with Devere working on it, I mean, Devere's games are usually pretty reasonable. Now, the fact that they're going to crowdfunding on this one makes me think
Yeah.
otherwise, especially with miniatures and things of that sort. But it'll be interesting to see what they do because it's kind of outside of their bounds, their normal
It,
bounds.
I
So I
thought the
think that's
same thing.
cool.
Yeah, they're like a Euro game company to me, or like a
Yeah,
small box game company
yeah,
because they have a lot of the small
agreed.
boxes too. But this being a dungeon crawler with minis, not something that I would expect from Devere. But I'm excited for it. I mean, my copy is old. I think the box is taped up. I got a second hand. Um, but it's a good one. I'm excited to play it. Also has an interesting level up system. Don't ask me how it works because I couldn't remind you of that one. But you are improving your stats as you play. It's a dice driven game as well, and yeah, very very good one. Very good one.
And you build the map out as you go too,
You do.
which was really cool. So it's different every single time you play.
Yeah, and I want to say in every scenario, like you have different heroes that you play, different monsters that you play against, and then they have different stat allocations. So it's not like you have the same like vanilla mix of things going into every scenario either. So I'm like looking at my copy on the shelf, like, hey, you haven't played me in a while. Get me back out. And now that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, time to break it out. Move it to the want to list.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I like
What's
that
up
one.
next
That
for
one
yours,
was really
man?
cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
So next on my list is The Thing. Have you seen the movie, Nick?
I have, but it would have been
Old John Carpenter. It's been a long time.
forever ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So The Thing. This is the best board game adaptation of a movie I've ever come across. This game is the epitome of helping is the biggest red flag. This is another one person is the thing, plays well at high player counts. Um, this is like Snowpiercer meets Among Us meets Trust Issues. This game
Gotcha.
is fantastic. Um, we mentioned earlier about betrayal and having that one person, the person that turns bad or who is bad, there's a lot of undue pressure on them. I don't feel that is the case in this game. Because the game is it's chaos mitigation. You're trying to keep the base running. You're trying to keep the heat on, the electricity on, and variable things affect what's happening while you're trying to repair a way to get off this Antarctic science lab, right? Very
Yeah.
reminiscent of the movie. But when I say helping is the biggest red flag, you are encouraged to go into rooms together, but when you do, you have to swap tokens. Now you get two tokens. One's a thing, one's human. And so the person that you're in a room with, if you're human, you have to show yourself as human. But if you're the thing, you have a thing and a human token out, and that person that's in the room with you will look at one of these tokens. So they may become the thing if they see that token, or they may say that oh no, Jared's human because I saw the token. So he's good. I can vouch for him, but the whole time I'm the thing. This
So
game's
does
fantastic. And I've had one game in memory. And you would think that I think one troublesome thing with semi-cooperatives or games that are like this, and we've seen it with Blood on the Clock Tower, right? Where if you're the imp or you're the main bad guy, there's so much pressure because if you mess up, you ruin the game.
right.
And I've had that happen in the thing before, where you pull the tokens at the very beginning of the game to determine if you're human or not. And for some reason, everybody pulled a human token, which at the player count that we had was impossible. Just someone messed up. And that created the largest amount of mistrust I've ever seen in a board game because we were all human, but in our minds, in game rules, we knew somebody was bad. And even though there's a way to test, do blood tests, much like the movie,
Yeah.
where you have to reveal who you are. And so we had almost everybody but two people tested, and we're all human. And you wouldn't imagine how much yelling and shouting in a respectful way, of course,
Yeah.
was going on in that game. That those two people were 100% the bad guy. And even though somebody messed up, it it made for one of the best games because it was exactly like the movie. The movie is exactly like that, where there's two guys left at the end of the movie, and the movie ends. Spoilers from 1970 something. Um, you don't know if one of them was still the thing or not. And it's just
Right.
it's magical. It's such a good game. It's long. The rule book's terrible. You really have to put forth an effort to want to play this game. But man, is it worth it?
So, question about the rules because I haven't played this iteration of the thing. I have Infection at Outpost 31, which is like glorified resistance. But if I'm in a room with you and we're gonna swap tokens, do I choose the token that I
You
look
do.
at of yours, or do you choose one of the tokens to show me?
Yeah. So each player has three tokens, two humans and one thing. So even if I'm the thing, I can put out two human tokens, right? Now I'm trying to
Okay,
infect other people, so I'm stronger. But yes, I choose the tokens that I want. I determine, okay, I have the thing token on the right side, and I watch which one they pick up. So they'll pick it up, they'll look at it privately, they'll put it down, and then you'll swap the tokens back to where they're your tokens. They're your player color tokens.
gotcha.
Um,
Okay,
and so that will determine if you're the thing or not. So as the game progresses, you start thinking back, okay, what weren't you two in a room together? Wait, you three were in a room together. And so
right.
you start tracing back the whole game of, okay, what has gone on here? We are in trouble and we're not going to be able to get off this place. Um, Once again, it has a very tense end game scenario. When you do get off the this base, what you have to determine is there is a trust track. I don't think that's what it's called, but go with me here. Take a journey with me. There's a
Yeah,
trust track. And if you're lowest on the trust track, you can say, I'm going to get on the, for example, helicopter,
yeah.
right? And then the person's second lowest on that track will say, I'll say, I want you to come with me. And so you'll go through the entire track until you go all the way up with every person that's on the helicopter voting if that person goes on.
Okay.
If one human is left on the base, the humans lose. If if the thing is on the helicopter, the humans lose. And it just makes this tense, like waiting for everybody to flip their cards one at a time to see if they're good or not. Whew, it's an
So
experience.
this actually sounds like the way to play the thing game. Just a tangent number 900 for me. Infection at Outpost 31 is the version of the thing I have. And if you're familiar with the resistance, it's similar, right? Like I have a you were all dealt a card, or I think we're all dealt two cards, and if you're dealt one of the cards that says the thing, then you're the thing. And as you're kind of like you have a team captain, like in the resistance, and then you have to clear these rooms and you vote like the captain says, okay, you three go into the room, and then the whole party can vote yes or no, and there's different abilities to like tie up the captain and change who it is, like what you can kill somebody so that maybe they're the thing and then they're off of it. But at the end as well, there's a helicopter you have to leave, obviously, like the movie. And um you can't have anybody that's the thing on the helicopter. So the reason I say this is the way to go is I loved Infection Outpost 31 when we got it. It was one of the most fun con experiences I've ever had, trusting this stranger next to me for the last 90 minutes or whatever. And then at the very end, him getting the thing given to him and then convincing me he was still human and going on the helicopter and all of us losing. But yeah, like it still has flaws where it is basically just the resistance or Secret Hitler, if you will.
Yep.
So it's going to have the same feel of that with a little bit more rules. So I played it again maybe this year, if not late last year, and I was like, this was fine, but I think I've kind of moved past it. So your version seems like the one I would want to get to the table and play.
Yeah, I haven't played Outpost 31, but I know the boards do look very similar from what I recall. And I've always wanted to try this one. I think it's a more condensed version of the one, the thing, the board game
Hmm.
by Pendragon. But I'd like to try this sometime. If you have it, we need to get a group together and play.
Yeah, yeah, I still have it, and it made my short list, if you will. But I thought, man, I just can't talk about it because although I think it can be fun, it's group dependent, and it's just a little bit lighter than what I'm wanting. But it's also got too many rules for something like the resistance. So it's like a weird fit of who am I
Yeah.
playing this with? It's not
Yeah.
heavy enough for my heavy gamer friends, but it's not so light that I'm going to want to play it with non-gamers because there's just a couple of nuances you have to remember. But it's still very solid. I would recommend it, I think, just to try out. But I do think that your version of it is probably what people are going to look for to play. And is it just called the thing? Because again, there's a lot of the thing games. Mine is The Thing, Infection Outpost 31. What is yours called?
This is the thing, the board game. Very
Okay.
creative.
The Thing, the board game. Got it. Got it. Yeah, and when you picked it up, we had talked about kind of had a similar conversation before about it, and I was like, I need to try this, but so many games, not enough time. But hey,
Indeed.
look, at the end of this month, Little League baseball's wrapping up, so that clears up two
If I'm
commitments I have a week
available.
for that. Yeah, so I'm becoming. We had to cancel one of our weekly game nights because I was booked up 5 nights a week, and every other week was 6 nights, and I was like, I can't do this. I've got to cancel something. So we canceled a game night. Um, Little League's wrapping up at the end of this month, so we can get back to the table again in November
Love it. Let's put this one on the list.
for sure. Let's put all these on the list, man. That's what I want to do. Why not run them all? But yeah, man, that's what I had. Is there any other games you wanted to talk about?
I, I would be remiss if I
Nothing.
didn't mention Cthulhu Death May Die. I don't have anything fun to say about it outside that it's just a fantastic game.
Yeah,
I think it's made like Mike DeLisio's top five, which he's loves Garfield games and
yeah,
seems to lean towards heavy Euros. So if that doesn't say something about how fantastic the game and you when we talked last time, you played it
yep.
and really
I
enjoyed
was just
it.
gonna say that. Like, oh man, Dungeon Crawler. I don't know. But then it was
Yeah,
like
no,
one
it's
shot Cthulhu. All right, man, I'll give it a go. And it
Duncan
was really
Dice,
fun.
a little bit of agency with leveling up your character and taking insanity and becoming stronger. Yeah, it's there, and there's so many episodes for it. They're just one shots, 90 minutes long. You can fit it in a night. This game's fantastic. I love it to death.
Yeah, would highly recommend that one to anybody as well. Again, maybe an expensive one to pick up, so maybe find a friend. But hey, I think it's worth it to to get into it.
Yeah, give it a try.
All right. Well, that's all we have this episode, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in for this one. Um, Next week we got another fun topic of conversation to go over, and then we have an upcoming game of Twilight Imperium 4th edition. So we'll have an episode talking about our experience there with the new expansion by the end of the year too. So stay
Assuming we're
tuned for
still
more.
friends and talking to one another, right?
I mean, I feel like it always takes a few days for me to get over it, for sure. And I would love to spend some time in that episode just talking about a couple of the things that have come up because oh my gosh, especially the last game, turn one, somebody broke a promise. I mean, we were texting 2 weeks beforehand. Whatever,
Not
that's for another
joking around.
episode. But
Yeah.
yeah, guys. So appreciate you all tuning in, and y'all have a good one.
Thanks, everyone.